Number one, this one didn't happen to me. This happened to a coworker that I met in 2011. He told me, well, he was like 40 something years old, and he told me that when he was like maybe 18, 20, the early days of the internet, where you can insta message somebody and nobody or rarely anybody had a webcam, that he started chatting. I don't remember the name of the program, if it was Messenger. When did Messenger start existing? That it was a default program on Windows XP. Anyways, he told me that if you guys remember how those chat messages or those chat programs work, is that you get dragged in random conversations with random people. It's like masses, and you leave or people start messaging you. That was very common. Now it's very like creepy because the stranger danger, which is good. Anyways, my friend says that he met this girl. He says he was a girl. Um, that told him that she was around his age. Which my friend was maybe 18, 17 or something. So they used to talk like every day, like, typical teen or early adult, in love through a screen. You idolize this person that probably doesn't even exist. It only exists in your mind or in some book or movie that you watch. So he tells me we were talking actually every day. Every day was like, how was your day? What are you doing? Let's talk. I want to get to know you better. And he said, at some point, I just got used to this. I just got used to this, and it felt really nice. To be honest, I don't remember the name he gave me when he was talking to this woman. Let's call my friend Christian. And basically, Christian said, dude, I felt really good with her. I wanted to get more like out of this, just chatting. So he said, I want to meet you. I want to, see you. I want to be able to actually meet you to see if all these things that you're telling me, it's match who you really are, right? He said as soon as he said that to her, that she started acting weird. In weird, I mean evasive. Like, hey, I want to see you someday. I'm free on X, Y, and Z day, right? She will say, oh no, I'm busy that day. Okay. Typical guy that when you want to see somebody, and I don't know if this has ever happened to you guys in the comment sections, you can tell me if this has happened to you. When you want to see somebody so bad, you even don't even sleep just to see that person because you're so in love, or at least maybe it's only me. Let me know. Anyways, he said that he will tell her, hey, I can see you on X, Y, and Z day. Oh no, I cannot. I cannot do it on that day. Okay, this one. Okay, not that day. No. Oh no, I have classes. Oh, I have this. I have that. Oh, work. Oh, stuff like that. It wasn't even clear what was going on. So my friend just stopped talking to her, but eventually she messaged him like saying, "Oh, I miss you. I don't know why we don't talk anymore." And basically, my friend said, well, I want to meet you. I want to, see you. I want to be able to like interact with you besides the screen. Like, how do I even know you're a girl? And she said, okay, let's meet. And they met at this public place. Well, like a mall or something. And he said he was like sitting on a table, like just waiting. And he says, this woman, I mean, my friend was maybe 16, 17, 18. I don't remember. He was very young, you know I'm 30 something, so, I can say, oh, he was very young. And he says this woman, maybe late 40s, early 50s, approaches. And he says, hey, Christian. And he just stares at her and says, who are you? And he says, my name is, insert the name of the girl of the chat. And he said, wait, what? And he said, yeah, I'm a woman, but, I'm really feel, young inside and everything. I'm actually, we have this same interest. Don't you think that's amazing? And he said, but you told me that you were near my age. And he said, yeah, of course, because I wouldn't tell you my age. You will think that I'm some kind of weirdo. Christian says he just was staring at her and he said, she looked older than, 40s. Maybe she was early 50s or mid 50s. But, you know, being a guy feeling completely betrayal, like if she's lying about her age, what else is she hiding, right? Christian said, "You know what? I just don't feel good doing this. You lied to me, and I don't think that's how, relationship or even friendship should be. I told you everything about me. You know everything about me. It's not fair." He said he just stood up. He said, "Nice to meet you. Let's call this girl Amy." And he left. Right? He left and he continued with his online chatting stuff, feeling miserable. Like, oh, I got you know duped by the most obvious thing on the internet. Somebody telling you, "Oh, I'm a very attractive 18-year-old, 17-year-old, and let's go somewhere." And maybe a dude shows up. Well, in his case, a woman that was probably twice his age appeared. And I know what you're thinking, like, oh, but maybe if he was good looking, he will have stay. I don't know. I don't know. I never asked him. I was like, I was just listening to his story, and that's the parts that I remember. And so he tells me that he starts hearing messages from this Amy woman. It's not. We won't call her a girl anymore. So Amy woman. Amy starts messaging like, "Hey Christian, what's going on? Why we don't talk anymore?" And he said, "Dude, I just told her that I don't want to talk with her anymore. I told her that it's not fair what she did to me, etc., etc." He says that she stopped messaging him, but he noticed that every time he went to a place, there was like a car with black tinted windows following him. And after that car started following him, and he noticed the car will drive off. And then when he will get home, Amy will message him like, "Hey, how was the walk outside?" And he was like, "How did she know where I was?" And he said this stalking occurred for 2 weeks. My friend just told her at the end, like, that he was very creeped out. And he said, "Amy, he made up that he was a minor, or I don't know if he was a minor. I'm gonna report you to the police." Yeah, right. Police helps a lot in my country. Latin America is like, you call the police and they make fun of you, like, "You're not being murdered? Okay, call later when you're being murdered." Blip. And basically, he said, "I'm gonna report you to the police." And he said that at that point, the black tinted window car stopped following him, and I think that Amy girl blocked him. What it's really weird is that, was that really the Amy chick? Was she planning something with somebody else? We will never know. My friend was very shocked that he was stalked for 2 weeks. And I know a lot of the stories is like the guy is actually stalking the chick, you know? But in this case, it was the opposite. It makes you wonder if it happened back in the 90s or early 2000s, with the technology that we have today with AI to fake voices and even create fake characters. What can it be done these days? Story number two. This is story number two happened to me in 2005, 2006. You can tell a lot of my good stories come from maybe high school and dumb stuff like a teenager. Like, I think everybody else's stories come from those times, right? So basically, I had a friend named Tom. Um, yeah, let's put it Tom. Tom and I were very good friends since sixth grade. I don't know how we became good friends, honestly. I have like patches of memory of how the things that we like. Mainly it was video games. I was big into video games, PlayStation 1 and 2, if you know what I mean. And when we discovered the computer and internet, we were like crazy, crazy. We just wanted to play all day. And if we found something online, it's like, dude, no way. I'm playing with you and you're at your house. You don't even have to come here. This is amazing. Oh, I met somebody from the US, and I'm not even in the US. That was my first thing on the internet. So we used to play this game. If you are familiar with Habbo Hotel, now it's Habbo. We used to play that together, and we formed this type of like brotherhood alliance where we were making money. Um, and yeah, but Tom had this way of, let's say, um, how can I put it? He was the type of guy that found funny to scare people online. So he will create. He even had a program which it was probably a Trojan or a malware, or a keylogger maybe, that he could log in into multiple messenger accounts. It was like a purple MSN. Certain versions of MSN allowed a lot of bugs, and you could pretty much use the old versions without being forced to update. And he had a version where you could log in into multiple accounts. And if you guys remember anything from the early 2000s, is that you could create an email. You don't even require MFA or put in a number. Just, you just put a username like Bob123 at Hotmail, if you know what I'm saying, at hotmail.com, password Bob123. And you could create so many accounts like that, literally copy and pasting with a notepad, and you have like 20 accounts per hour. So Tom was big into pranking people, to the point that, if you remember those big chat rooms where you get dragged, like you were on your computer and you remember the distinctive messenger sound, tududun, tududun, um, I'm not doing that well, so forget I did that. And Tom was to the point that he loved being on those massive, like 100 or 200, 300 people in a chat, and he was adding every single person. He had a huge contact list on Messenger, and the guy was like, dude, I met this chick. I met this chick and I'm scaring her, telling her that I'm outside of her door or her room or something. Honestly, Thomas didn't know anything about hacking. He was very amateur. He would just give you random characteristics, like base it on her picture. She will put like contact info on Hotmail that we could get. It was, personal identifiable information back in the day was not a big deal like it is today. But you could get, information from the person just by using Google and finding out their high five or MySpace, and they'll have all the freaking information. And you will think you're a hacker because you put the person's full, first and last name, and you're like, wow, I'm such a hacker, dude. Anyways, he used to harass these girls, but I think he came in contact with the wrong person. At some point, I don't know why he dragged me into this, because that's why we lost our friendship. He even, maybe it's a story for another day, but he even made a fake calls with a private number that they were able to track it down to his house, and he was pretty much calling girls and telling them, "I'm gonna kill you, I'm gonna kill you." I don't know what was wrong with this guy. It's like a future serial killer thing. I don't know. I didn't make any of those calls, but somehow he blamed me for that because we're best friends. So, best friends share the blame. Yeah, right. Never do that. Anyways, he started in like these mass conversations. He was addicted to it, but it looks like he ran across the wrong guy or the wrong girl. Anyways, I was once at Thomas' house, and it was very common that you would go to one friend's house, and since, internet on cell phones was not a thing. Cell phones didn't have applications. They were simian devices. Anyways, I'll go to his house, log into his messenger, and we'll be like making plans, like, oh, to talk to this chick. She's really cute. Ask her out, ask her out. Typical teenage dumb stuff like asking out a girl over internet because, IRL we're just shaking, just saying hi to a girl. You know what I mean? Anyways, Tom, he came across somebody weird. He claimed that he was in art school, but he was like on 11th grade. We were in 8th grade. Here in my country, it goes from 7 to 11, the high school, and grade school is like 1 to 6. Anyways, just a little context. And he said, "Oh yeah, I'm 11th grade. I know where you live." He started giving Tom all his personal information, even the name of his sister, and I was like, "Dude, this is weird. I never seen this guy." Obviously, his profile picture was like some metal band or something like to look mysterious, to look like I'm a bad boy. And I asked Thomas, "Who the hell is this guy? Like, who the hell he think he is?" And suddenly I log on my account and, on my house, and I get a friend request, and more like, I think it was a friend request or a direct message from this 11th grader stuff. And he said, my name is I think it was like, he called himself not Dracula, but like some type of mythical figure, just to look cool. And I was like, yeah, Tom, I know it is you, dude. You have like 60 accounts, right? And he said, no, it's not Tom. Honestly, at this point, I don't know if it was him because, on that point, our relationship as friends was splitting. So Tom was hanging out with other guys, and it's very typical that you, as a high school boy, or that you're in high school, that you hang with, like, let's say, the bad boys or the popular kids, and you diminish other people that are not part of the group to look cool. Very very teenage stuff, right? You probably have done it, or you probably have seen it. Sadly, I done it once, and it doesn't feel good. You regret those things when you grow up. Anyways, I told him, Tom, I know it is you. The guy started threatening me. I was like, but me being the guy that I am, even to this day, I told him, what a coincidence. I just reached home from school and suddenly you are messaging me. Why you didn't message me before? If you're like, first you told me you're on 11th grade. You don't tell me even in what specific class you're at. Because my sister was 2 grades above me, so I could ask her, who is this guy? Anyways, he says, no, no, no. It's just that I know when you get home. I know when you go to school. I see you. And I was like, yeah, prove it. Prove it. And basically, I noticed that when I was playing soccer, yeah, I used to play a lot of soccer. I don't play that anymore. Um, I noticed somebody threw me a rock, but from from a higher section. Let me explain you something. When this school had a very weird um land, let's say, because you enter and then you go down, and then there are some classes for like the early grade school and everything, then you go upstairs and that's high school, and you go a little bit up and it was you know 10th and 11th grade. I don't know why they divided that way, but it was like a freaking roller coaster. Anyways, somebody threw a rock at me, but they obviously miss. It was just a message for me to see that they threw me a rock. And I didn't realize that because I just saw something like passing through my ear, and I was like, "What the hell just happened?" I see some guys like on those fences that they put, and they're just laughing. And I see, I love like 11 and 10 graders, and I'm like, "Oh crap, maybe this thing is real." But I was like, maybe they didn't aim it at me. Maybe that rock was for something else, or they're just, I don't know, they're making fun of me because, I was very skinny. Right now, I'm not as skinny as before, still very skinny. So, let's pick on the skinny guy or the fat guy or the minority guy or, the guy that has a certain type of hair, etc. So I was like, maybe it was a coincidence, you cannot be that paranoid. You have to be careful, but not to the point that you go nuts. Anyways, I get home and just like in social media these days, I log into Messenger. Even when I didn't talk to anybody, I was just logging into Messenger, just, doing nothing, just refreshing Messenger. Like, maybe I'll get a message. Maybe I'll get a message. You guys know what I'm talking about. Normal Instagram and WhatsApp and Facebook is the same thing. You refresh the thing, even though when there are no notifications. It's like gambling. You get addicted to something without even knowing. So I get a message from this 11 mysterious grader, and he said, "Oh, I almost hit you." And I was like, "What?" "Yeah, I almost hit you. It wasn't my intention to hit you, but now you know that I'm real." So at that point, I was like, who is this guy? Like, who the hell is this guy? And he's told me my name was Darko or Draco or something. And I kind of asked my sister, "Who is this guy?" I said, "Oh, he's a big loser." I was like, "What do you mean, big loser?" He's like, "Yeah, he flunked like 10th grade almost 2 times. And he's almost like 19 or 18. I don't even know what he's doing here. I think his parents are very wealthy because, we were in a private school to keep paying this guy just go there and be a dumbass." And I was like, "Okay, all right, good to know." And I was like, why the hell this guy is messing with me? Somehow he made an excuse that the girl I like, or he told me that that's the girl I like. It was his girlfriend. But the weirdest thing is that that girl he liked, it was like on 7th grade. So I told him, dude, you're like on 11th grade and you like 7th graders. Like, why you cannot get girls of your own age or something? That really upset him. That really upset him. Um, Somehow he stopped talking to me and he was just sending me like coded messages and poems like, I'm gonna get you this, or I know when it's your gym class and I can skip class and beat you up and kill you and something. At some point, I didn't know if that guy was serious or Tom was actually behind it because Tom will ask me like in this giggling tone, "Hey, the Dark or Draco, whatever is his nickname, did he message you?" And I was like, "Oh, how do you know? Because you're a Darkor, right? Or you paid this Thomas to, scare me, right?" And he was like, "No, no, no, I'm just asking." He. And I was like, "You know what, Tom? If you are behind this or this guy is somehow your new friend, I don't want to have anything to do with you." that's when our friendship, deteriorated. And why I think it was him, because when maybe a year after I stopped being friends with Tom, he started calling me, Tom itself, and telling me, "Oh, I'm gonna mess you up. I'm gonna kill you." I was like, "You don't have the guts to come outside of my house and try to start a fight because, you're. I know you very well. I know secrets about you, and nobody else knows. You know what I mean? Like I know a lot of things about you that nobody else knows. Remember that I used to sleep over your house, and remember the deep conversations that we have during the night about your feelings, about how you're afraid about a lot of things." I was like, "You don't want that, and I can leak it." And he stopped calling me, but I wondered that Darko Draco, was he um Tom's friend? Was he Tom itself? Uh was that a coincidence, or something sinister was going to happen to me at some point when I was alone, and I wouldn't be here to tell you guys about it. Story number 3. This happened when I started my first job back in 2011. To give you a context, I'm not the type of guy that sits next to you and starts talking to you. I usually wait for somebody to talk to me. I joke a lot IRL, but the thing is that I will only joke with you if I know that you're okay with it. It's not that my jokes are offensive, it's that I joke a lot. I'm very sarcastic, and some people don't like that. Some people don't like when you joke a lot because maybe they think, oh, this guy is a fool, this guy is a moron, etc. Um, Anyways, it was maybe my first 3 months, and I only knew one chick that lived close to me, but this chick was very strange. Valerie was her name. She, I guess, once tried to ask me for money, and I told her, Valerie, I'm not gonna give you money. I don't even know you that well. It was maybe $10. Yeah, call me cheap, dude, but I wasn't making that much. And honestly, the way I see it is that if you get somebody money that you don't know that well, they're always going to come after you for something else. So that's my philosophy. Maybe if I was like 14, 15, just to have her friendship, I'll give her the money. But at that point, I didn't care because when you leave high school, you realize that a lot of those friendships are fake, that you don't need those people in your life, etc., etc. Not complaining, just explaining. Oh, that rhymes. Anyways, that was the only person that I knew, and my sister was also there. And something about my sister is that she doesn't joke. I mean, we joke, but we tell each other insults, and but in a fun way, like brothers and sisters do. If you have siblings, you know what I mean. Like, hey, ugly, hey, big head, hey, oh, what happened to your hair? Blah 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 blah. Oh, why are you so skinny? Why you don't go to a gym? Or, oh, you're not eating lunch? Is it a new diet? Sibling stuff. Anyways, I work at a call center for a brand of phones that doesn't exist anymore. Just to give you some context, it was a phone that the president of the US back in the day, Barack Obama, used to have. So you can probably guess what brand it is. It was very famous because it was security, encryption, internet, and that phone was everywhere back in the early 2000s. So you probably guys know what it is. Let me know in the comments if you know the brand, okay? Anyways, um, I received a call. I used to work during the night, 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. That was my first shift. It is a weird shift. Don't ask me why I worked those shifts, but anyways, um, I had like Tuesdays and Wednesdays off, or Mondays and Tuesdays off. Yeah, that company wasn't good. They just tried to exploit the employers, pay them bad, and try to make them quit because we have very good laws for labor in my country. I'm actually surprised to say that, but I really respect the laws in my country for labor. But some people try to circumvent, there are loopholes and everything. So, anyways, back to the subject. I received a call because that brand of cell phone was dying, so nobody was calling. I thought that that was actually a fake call center. And I received a call, and a guy asked me, "Hey," and he spoke like perfect English. You can tell I have an accent, right? So the guy spoke like, let's say Canadian, North American English. I can really not tell the difference. Please don't get offended. Um, and I said, yes, how can I help you? And he was like, well, I have a few questions about the phone, blah, blah. I was like, oh, yeah, X, Y, and Z. And he said, hey, are you in Costa Rica? And I was like, yeah, I am. Why? And he was like, and are you in this city? I was like, yeah. He said, "Oh, and are you on this place?" I was like, "Yes, why?" And he was like, "Oh, and let me guess, you're on the third floor of this building." I was like, "Dude, why are you asking me these questions?" And he was like, "Oh, no, no, I'm just asking. You also work for this company, right?" And I was like, uh, "Sir, I don't see where this is going. You have questions about your phone?" Yeah, and also your base salary is this. Dude, that scared me so much. Like, how this guy know? Maybe somebody from here that has very good English. That happens. This country has people that speak very good English. And I was like, "Is your question about the phone or or something personal about me?" And he just hung up. But the weirdest thing is that he told me exactly where I was, at what time it was, and even the building and the floor where I was, and even how much I make per month. So either he has some massive inside information about me or about every employee that works there, or it was a prank call by one of the guys. But it is so weird that that will happen because I'm very quiet. And basically, when I was 19, fresh 19, I didn't spoke to anybody. I was just a guy sitting on the corner with a headset. I didn't know anybody. Why would somebody prank me that way? And when the caller hang up, I started looking on cubicles, and there was just two people there, and some of them were even sleeping. I was like, "There's no way this is a prank." Like, and why will they do it to me? This doesn't make any sense. I didn't tell that anybody this story. I didn't tell that to anybody at workplace. It's the first time that I'm telling it, but it is the weirdest call I ever received. This guy within minutes was able to tell me where I was, what I was doing, in what building I was, and everything about me, how much I made per month because we get paid per every 2 weeks bi-weekly. And that really scared the crap out of me. Was he really from here? Was he an insider? Did he work here before? Or maybe it was an elaborate prank call for somebody that I somehow offended? Somehow I will never know.